Okay, time for a new video, and if this is the first video you've seen of mine, then thank you very much for checking it out. It is greatly appreciated. Or if you are returning to my channel to watch this video, that is also much appreciated. As always, apologies for the average quality, and if there's any lag in this video, I apologise in advance for that. It can't be helped. I've noticed it more and more in recent videos that I've uploaded, and it is infuriating, but you just have to make do with what you've got. And if I stumble over my words as well, apologies for that. So, today is yet another Eurovision Song Contest related video. I don't know how long this one is going to be. At the time of recording, it is Friday the 10th of May. Second rehearsals are underway at the Expo Tel Aviv in Israel for this year's competition. We are 8 days away from the grand final. In fact, this time next week we will know the exact running order of the grand final, which is really quite interesting because Eurovision hasn't even started yet, and yet we are just a week away from knowing the final lineup. As always, let me know your thoughts on anything to do with this year's competition in the comments below. There will be links in the description to my other social media pages, including my blog. I'm actually typing a blog post up at the moment regarding today's rehearsals. I'm just waiting for Austria, their second rehearsal clip, to be uploaded to the Eurovision YouTube page. So, with 8 days to go, I essentially want to briefly talk about what we might expect from this year's contest, countries to watch out for. Now, I'm not talking specifically about frontrunners or dark horses or countries that are coming up on the rails, necessarily. It's going to be a mishmash of all of those things. So I'm going to take a look at my notice board in front of me. I haven't really planned this video at all, so it is going to be quite messy, apologies for that. But I think the first country that it is worth keeping an eye on is North Macedonia, because this is a country that hasn't made a Eurovision final since 2012. We have a returning artist in the form of Tamara Todevska, and this is a song that received a lot of praise after the first rehearsal. Tamara is a great singer. The staging isn't too dissimilar from how Russia's appears this year. While I think the Russian song is arguably stronger and visually more interesting, the North Macedonian entry is staged pretty well and sounds pretty good. Could they finally qualify once again? It's very possible. In terms of being a borderline qualifier, which I think North Macedonia is, I'd say the attention is definitely more on them than Denmark, for example. Albania has backtracked a bit. Austria, I don't think, is making much of an impression at the moment. And Lithuania, Ireland, I think their chances are too low with regards to qualification. So North Macedonia might just sneak in there. I now think Denmark is in a spot of bother. A lot of people would say Denmark was never a qualifier in the first place, but I always had them down, and I still currently have Denmark down as one of the qualifiers from semi-final 2. But North Macedonia might replace them very shortly. Romania, another borderline qualifier. I've just seen the second rehearsal from Esther Peony, and it looks and sounds great. But here's something I want to mention before I go on to another country. A lot of criticism this year is being aimed at the camera angles, and I have to say I've noticed it today. Lots of wide shots of the stage. Now this is fine because the stage looks pretty good, but if you have an intimate song, there's no need for wide shots. It should be close up. Even the Latvian song had a couple of wide shots, which is just completely unnecessary. The Switzerland rehearsal, which I was a little bit disappointed by, today's Swiss rehearsal, again, you couldn't even see Luca on the stage that well at certain points. Now I know that we're only getting about a 45-second clip, but even so, it's not promising. It's not looking too good. Yesterday, apparently, the Portuguese delegation were absolutely furious, not necessarily to do with camera angles, but because of changes that they wanted to happen not actually happening. and the production team not necessarily listening to Conan's team. And that's very interesting in itself. A lot of people online saying there's a bit of sabotage going on. I'm not too sure about that, but it does appear that there are a few feathers being ruffled backstage, if you see what I mean. A lot of people not too happy with how things are progressing, and there's not a lot of time for all of these issues to be fixed. And I wonder if they will be fixed, if Conan and his team will be happy by next week. I don't know. So moving on after that side ramble, North Macedonia is a country to keep an eye on. They're not one of the favourites to win, but they are rising in the betting odds. Then I have to mention Romania, a country that I think now is looking very good to qualify. Esther sounded great today. Visually, this song looks good. I know that some fire effects are used at one point. I'm not a huge fan of the song, but I have to say it's staged quite well and looks quite good. And Romania definitely could be making the final after not making the final last year. Another country to keep an eye on is Malta. The first rehearsal was pretty positive, looking and sounding great. Michaela's a fantastic young musician who could easily have a career all across Europe. I don't see why not. The second rehearsal will be very interesting to see. It's very colourful, it's very fun. If big countries, that is, countries above Malta in the betting odds, slip up, Malta will just waltz on in and say thank you very much. Could Malta win? I don't think so, but stranger things have happened. If we have a year like 2011, when Azerbaijan surprised quite a few people, then who knows, Malta might just do the same this year. Eurovision in Valletta, very nice. There's a lot riding on the second Dutch rehearsal, but I'm not really going to talk about Duncan Lawrence today because I want to talk specifically about countries that not too many people are necessarily talking about, like North Macedonia. Only now is attention starting to bubble under the surface, if you see what I mean. From semi-final 1, Belarus, I think it looks quite chaotic and messy myself. But this is a song that is starting to get a bit more attention. Zena's only 16, but she sounds good. She's got a couple of dancers on stage. There are crates, smoke. I think they've done well to make this song stand out. I don't think it's a qualifier, but a lot of people are starting to change their opinion on it. Czech Republic, for me, is a song worth keeping an eye on. I've never really understood the hype for it, if you want to call it hype. It's a very fun, playful song. I wouldn't say it's that incredible, though, and I wouldn't say the staging's that incredible, and I wouldn't say the vocals are that incredible. But the Czech Republic might actually get a very satisfying result this year. Not as high as last year, but still. They might make the final and finish within the top 15. I don't know. I wouldn't be overly shocked if that happens, even though I'm not a huge fan of the song. I think it's worth keeping an eye on Hungary. Very good qualification record. Yotsi's finished in the top 10 at Eurovision before. He is alone on stage but sounds so good. I don't see any reason why Hungary won't qualify this year. Maybe it's too dull for some. I don't know. Let me know what you think. It's worth keeping an eye on Belgium, who are just falling backwards now. It's the outfits that's the issue. I don't think they fit the song at all. The staging needed to be similar to the music video somehow. Australia, well. Australia is now one of the favourites to win, and I'm very glad about it. It's my personal favourite of the year. Kate's a fantastic singer. I wasn't massively impressed with the rehearsal yesterday, with the sort of CGI earth covering the poles that she and her two other backing whatever they are, swinging about on poles. You can't see the poles because the earth covers it up. I wasn't such a huge fan of that, but no denying that Kate's a world-class singer and the song is very good and more people are starting to enjoy it. And like I said with Malta, if the big nations slip up this year, Australia might just waltz in and take victory. Stranger things have happened. Portugal is going backwards, arguably. So Cyprus. Goodness me, that was not a brilliant rehearsal yesterday. I think that's all the countries I want to mention. Not too many, but let me know your thoughts. We have 8 days to go. The Netherlands is still the favourite to win. Russia, Sweden, they're up there. I thought Sweden's rehearsal, which I watched barely 20 minutes ago, wasn't that incredible. These wide shots of the stage, I just don't think they're necessary. And visually, in terms of the LED screen and all of that business, some countries just aren't using it to its potential, in my opinion. The one rehearsal that really has stood out today for me is Armenia. Just because it looked so cool, and Söderberg was belting the song out, and she sounded great, and Armenia is going to qualify regardless. You know, ignoring the fact they're even opening the show, this song should sail through and possibly finish in the top 10, who knows. Anyway, I'm really starting to ramble now. Apologies if you could hear my laptop whirring away. Hopefully there wasn't too much lag in this video. I haven't noticed any, but anyway, that's not totally relevant here. Here's the schedule for next week. I'll mention it again for those of you who didn't see one of my previous videos. All being well, on Monday, my semi-final one preview and prediction. On Tuesday, my live reaction to the semi-final one results, which I will record and then upload straight away, all being well. On Wednesday, my semi-final one review, my semi-final 2 preview and prediction. On Thursday, my semi-final 2 live reaction, which will be, you know, about 6 or 7 minutes long. On Friday, my semi-final 2 review and final preview and prediction, and I will say in advance, that prediction I wouldn't take too seriously. It will be quite rough, and the chances of it being 75% accurate is slim. And then I might film my reaction to the public results in the grand final next Saturday. If you want to see that, let me know, and then I'll certainly try and do that. And then, as I said in one of my previous videos, I will take a break for a couple of days, and then I'll upload a video talking about the whole contest, including the semi-final results. So, there we have it, a very rambly sort of video, but I did want to upload one today. Hopefully the quality's alright, it can't be helped, and that's about it. Yes, roll on Eurovision. There's not long to go now. I'm going to watch some more rehearsals, and until next time, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to leave comments and check out my other social media pages in the description below, and bye for now.